Thank you once again for tuning in. And the subject of today's webcast, or I would say podcast, is actually a state of the game. So we will talk about pretty much what comes from our heart, because both of us have spent quite some time in the game. So, in the current set of things, Mansa, you are the
Yeah,
PvP
so,
god. You are like top 15, top 12, maybe even top 10 at this moment. So tell me, what do you think about the current state of the game? Is it like playable? Do you enjoy it, or
I
how are you
mean,
doing?
I it's a lot of fun. I think,
Mhm,
mainly because they announced, in the last devlog they announced wipe, so a lot of people are going out with the best gear.
mhm, mhm,
So it's just super much, so much fun. Actually, like running into geared people.
mhm.
It's really good in my opinion.
And
I
even the
love it.
the ships are actually outside. I saw interceptors, I saw capital
Oh yeah,
ships, I saw scouts. Really, people flying them all over and shooting each other. Never saw that before. Seems like
yeah,
they want
that's
to
true.
make use that they have the equipment. Have fun
Yes,
with the
yeah.
equipment. Um, when do you think that the patch will come out? Like on the 10th, like the previous one?
Uh, I think in 2 weeks or maybe three actually, because I was reading it like in the
Mm-hmm.
general sense, like what they're trying to add,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with a new map, with a new ship, new gear, new like a whole rework for dailies. So I think it's in like 2 3 weeks or something like that. Something like that.
Hmm. I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
what people want.
Uh, when I researched about Marauders, learned that they started creating the game in like 2020, and it took them 2 years
Mhm.
to go into the early access. That is probably how would I start with the current state of the game. For me, it's a heck of a fun. Um, I would probably say the best 30 bucks spent on my life. The reason being I have like what 400, 500 hours of fun and still
Yeah.
playing, still counting actually. Um, I admit, yeah, there are bugs. You can meet a cheater or two. There are things which are painful, like disappearing stuff or not able to pick kind of that. But still, it's an early
Oh,
access. You, you,
don't
you
even
tell me
remind me.
about your disappearing mine container, right? You were actually making some kind of drops on your channel. So care to tell us about drops that you're doing?
No, what do you mean dropped? What?
Uh, you had a container with a specific items which
Oh
you
yeah, sure. Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
about it.
So the past week or so, I was collecting a relatively speaking rare item, which is a landmine. I
Hmm.
would have had so much fun using it like next week or like before the wipe,
Uh-huh.
and I had a full large container with it.
Hmm.
So I had 30 of them, 30 landmines. Going into a raid, first raid as vanguarding today.
Uh-huh.
Going into a raid, getting out of it, it's gone, all of it.
Jeez.
30 landmines into oblivion it goes.
So it's unfortunately one of those bugs that makes life really hard. But on the other hand, what makes this game nice and kind of makes for it is that it's not so hard to make money, right? So
Yeah,
you
it's
can still get some gear, but if you're like collecting gold coins because you're, let's say, a loot goblin or you're collecting armors and then your container disappears, my man, that hurts. That really hurts the soul. Not gonna lie.
true.
So, in light of these things and early access, what does it mean for us? What do you expect that the core gameplay will change, or how it will change, or give us some insight, PvP gut.
I think everything is going to change. Like pretty much everything that we have, like every sense of the game is every mechanic should be changing. And previously, it was also confirmed by Matt.
That's
And
correct.
reading now the blog that we having like such a huge overhaul for the dailies. I was expecting something, but this is more than what I thought it's
Yeah,
going to happen. What
that,
do you
that's
think?
true. That's true. Well, early access is kind of connected with all the bugs, with all the flaws that are in the game. That's probably for me. And what I'm personally looking forward to are the major changes in ship battles. When everybody's using Rust Bucket, maybe not now because there is a week or two to wipe, but on normal circumstances, people are just flying Rust Buckets and nobody is ever even trying other ships. So I expect the ship of the battle of the ship to change somehow. Uh, I believe we there was a talk with developer. I think it was actually Seek, and he mentioned one game which I even have on Steam called Dreadnought, and he said that they would like to have really more complex system of ship battle, something like a Dreadnought. And I was like, oh, I played Dreadnought for 100 hours as well, so it was fun. It was fun in the beginning, so I was like, okay, but that's very too complicated. But in the
Yes.
core gameplay, I also expect very radical changes. Something um, the new patch that is coming now, for example, introduced two maps in one. That was not even in my wildest fantasies. I could not even imagine that. So uh,
Oh,
that kind of
excuse me. Two maps.
yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You will be surprised. No, okay, no more, no more spoilers for you because you really need to listen to that stream that there was with the devs, and perhaps next week on Sunday we can actually look on it together, and you can tell me what do you think about that.
Sure, sure.
So, um, we kind of touch the box that we met. Disappearing containers, sometimes invisible items.
Something you can talk about. Uh,
I would probably talk about that just to kind of
Care sharing.
yeah care care to share sort of. Why not? I mean, what is the worst bug that you actually met in the game for you?
Well, the landmines.
The landmines.
Landmines are gone. No, but with all seriousness,
Uh huh.
uh, well, the most annoying that happens to me, and as I know that it happens to you as well, the backpack
Hmm.
uh, bugging on you
Yeah.
that you can't really do anything with it. In the past couple of days, although like I ran into a couple of interesting ones as well.
Yeah.
So I lost one of my capital ships randomly. Just lost, the large container today.
Yep.
I today also ran into myself. I
Myself.
killed myself.
Yeah, flying the ship. You told
Uh,
me that was very interesting. Uh-huh.
I couldn't even shadow play it, unfortunately, but I wanted to. But I don't know. That's probably my most annoying one. What
Mm.
about you? Having a
Well,
lot of
you
fun
know
with
that I
the
had it.
containers.
Sorry, go ahead.
You having a lot of fun with containers.
Ah, yeah. Well, everybody is affected by the containers, but the one that really affected me the most and got me the most angry is the shotgun bug. Because as you know, I had a shotgun challenge.
Mm.
I was starting at zero after the prestige, and I used only shotguns as a primary weapons. So what happened to me was that I had a Terminator, right? Terminator is a single slap shotgun, um, which you're
Yeah.
very familiar with because you helped me with the challenge. And what happens to me? I press R to actually reload, and get the pellet inside. And sometimes just a corrective will put the pellet inside, but the game will not acknowledge that. So you cannot shoot. You just make that clicking sound that you're uh, pushing the trigger, but nothing happens. You cannot shoot. And you have to drop
Mhm.
down the weapon on the ground, then pick it up again, and then pretty much you have the pellet in the chamber and you can shoot. But man,
Indeed, that is
this
annoying.
bug killed me probably about 15 times. So even by AIs, the AIs, if you cannot run, or if you run into the wrong spot, if you drop the weapon, they will just run to you. They will just aimbot you, and you're done. You're that's the end of your game
Yeah,
for you. So that was probably the worst bug that I encountered, and then the usual stuff. So glares in certain maps. disappearing
Oof.
containers, invisible items. I even had an invisible armor. I went into raid and the friend was looking at me and he was like, "Are you naked?" I was like, "No, sir, I'm not naked. I have the best effing armor that is in the game, like level 12, the full Panzer." He was like, "No, man, you don't have anything on your character." So I was like,
Oof.
"Holy, what should I do?" So I dropped the armor, pick it up again, and then suddenly it was there. So these
Yeah,
two bugs
visual
were
bugs.
kind of the worst thing that ever happens to me. But I have to still repeat, it's an early access. We had, I think I had like 500 hours. If I look at the Steam, it says 400, but I also was in the beta, in the closed beta when there was play days, and I am sure that I had at least 60,
That's
maybe even
cheating.
100 hours just in that. Uh,
That's cheating.
no, no, it's not cheating. They first of all they made it really short for like 4 hours, and then people were complaining a lot because you have a testing, right? You want to test the game, and they open the game like
Right.
at 3 p.m. and then they close testing at 7 p.m. And so
Yikes.
people were absolutely furious, like, how can you do this to us? We want to play Marauders. We want to, do test your thing, and um, they really ended so early, and I was like, okay, yeah. And the last tests were actually for 2 days straight, so I mean, I did not get any sleep, but I was playing, I was
Yeah,
playing,
boy.
I was playing so hard, and it was even a different version. We had like a test modus, so to speak, on Steam, so we connected that, and yeah, that was it. I did not even encounter too many bugs in test, if I'm honest, because I was still looking around, seeing how the maps look like, where to go to the point of interest, and so on and so forth. Um, but
Yeah,
it's
understandable.
kind of golden thing. And then the game came in on October the 3rd, and the first week was like, oh, I'm going to sweat this. The second week was like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm not going to sweat this. But in the
Understandable, yeah.
beginning, I did not really meet a lot of bugs. Not gonna lie. Um, it seems to me, and take that with a little bit of a salt, that after the health patch, things get a little bit worse. But that's just my
Oh
opinion.
yeah,
What do you think?
that is 100%. Like since health patch, I'm averaging like 4 or 5 Unreal crashes,
Hmm,
just like every day.
Rushes?
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is the newest feature of the game. So
uh,
I guess we just have to get used to it.
I guess so too. Well, we are part of a One Guard channel, and I hope that I can say that, but we had a discussion with developers actually seeing how many players we help in Europe and so on, and there seem to be a little bit less players than usual. And I really mentioned to what was that, Victoria, that yeah, there is quite a bit of bugs. You crash very often, and that's probably affecting possible new players that want to buy this game. And if I remember correctly, that her answer was that new patch will actually blew our mind off, and it's going to be better. And
I
by
sure hope so.
by all accounts, I think she did not lie at all.
I hope so. I mean, no, I'm not saying that I don't believe her because of reasons. I really want to believe
Exactly, we want to
that
believe that. Yeah,
it's gonna be true. Like health update came out on 10th, right?
yeah,
November 10th.
hmm
The average player base that we had on 10th, no, on 9th actually, was 2000, 2950.
hmm
And then health came out. We surged back to 4000
uh huh,
on average.
uh huh.
So, yeah, that, that would be great to have this instant surge again. Maybe even more if they hype it up so much. Unfortunately, we don't really have like bigger insight. So We shall see.
Yeah,
We shall see.
this is probably a feedback for developers if they are watching, of course. Perhaps a little bit more detailed communication about the patch notes. What we are looking
Yeah.
forward to, because I mean, we are in for the treat, and especially with the health patch, when my traders reset, I was like, man, I nearly exploded. I had
Yeah.
almost all the traders on level 10, and then I prestige. I was like, zero? Seriously? What's happening?
Yeah.
This is not normal. I could not buy anything. I could not even buy a gun.
I know how it feels. That's what I did on the day on the day of health. But I remember I was even talking with. I believe I was talking with you.
Uh
I was like, I knew I should have prestige last night. I
huh.
fucking knew it.
I should have stayed up late and just do the prestige
Uh,
and then enjoy the traders and just, you know, smack it.
yeah. Uh,
No, no.
it was annoying because it was one of my last prestiges as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a change that wasn't even confirmed for for about like
Mm.
1 extra week or 2 weeks. I'm not even
Yeah,
sure.
the thing is, developers for some reason consider a bug, and they only mention that some bugs were fixed. So you don't really know what they mean, which bugs were fixed. We kind of
Yeah, the bags.
some people actually had in mind, yeah, this might be a bug. It should be probably resetting. But then it was so long that this way that we actually thought that it's not a bug, it's a feature, right?
Yeah, but this is exactly by the way the worst part of it.
Uh-huh.
That's like in the beginning when I started playing on 14th of October. When I started, we did think that this is a bug, but none of the developers confirmed it.
Mm.
So we just accepted that. Okay, so this is how it should work then.
This is how it
If
should
they
work.
are not confirming that it's a bug,
Mm.
and then they came out like 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago almost that. Yeah, sorry guys. By the way, it was a bug.
Yeah,
So
I saw that. I saw that on that was actually on official Discord, wasn't it? In the announcements.
yes, exactly. And
Um,
then answers from
the
Matt.
thing is, despite all the small miscommunication, I heard people like shouting, "Ah, the game is dying," and no new players are coming. But based on the stats, I noticed there was a little bit of a decline, so to speak, about the state of the game. But
Oh, of course.
on the other hand, I do play on European servers. I always meet new players. I don't. I very rarely meet the same players twice or three times. Except you, of course. I met you three times and died, I think, two at least. But
No, I personally meet a lot of people.
mhm.
Sorry, by the way. Go
No, no. What I
on.
mentioned is that game doesn't feel like it's dying. So um, it feels that new players are coming, but we have like an influx of players which plays Tarkov and other games, so they are like in FPS kind of knowledgeable. They know stuff,
Mhm.
so they are not asking
That's
for
true.
help. So they usually then come to us as vanguards and don't ask for help because they know how to shoot right, and they want to figure out other things themselves, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And the player base does not seem to be declining. Sometimes I meet more players than actual raiders in the raid. But that being said, I'm on
Oh
a
yeah.
European server. I heard that, for example, in South Africa, the situation is a little bit worse. You have little less players. But I remember I suggested to that person, like from South Africa, like go get a VPN, try connect to European server. I can guarantee you will suffer. The people will just tear you down. They will hunt you down because there's so many of them. And then he connected to European server, and he was like, okay, I'm going back to South African servers. I really enjoy playing with the bots and occasionally one two players in the match. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I told you. uh,
I mean, that's just how it works.
yeah,
I can't
that's how it
think of
works.
what feel that I had with him.
That's how it works. And I'm expecting again the player base to surge. after the new patch, which is hopefully coming in a week or two.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it's by now I don't even loot stuff too much.
Hmm.
Just collect some stuff. Maybe I will do a giveaway or two like later on in one of my streams.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's about it. Just go for the leaderboard, baby.
Sure. Um,
To the to the stars and beyond.
if I didn't mention that correctly, my friend here is a Zero Mancer plays on Twitch. My name is M Lord Marauder, and I'm a survivalist, but Mancer is a PvP god. So if you want to watch some PvP, then make sure that you tune in into Mancer and watch him. Perhaps you will catch some of his drops as well. He's very rich, so
No,
he has a lot of things to give. I mean, in game.
no.
No. Well, I prestiged like 3 days ago, so I'm probably poor like a church rat. So I cannot give anything to
Man,
people. That's for sure.
you would be richer if you wouldn't play a different game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Um,
If
I
we're
I
talking about
I went into Call of Duty. Honest, I bought a Call of Duty recently, and I kind of like it. I don't think it's like Tarkov, especially not the Warzone 2. But that's probably for different discussion. Not here,
yeah,
not here,
that's
not
true.
right now.
Not
Um,
for now.
the last subject that we wanted to discuss today is actually one of the more hot ones, so to speak. I noticed
Controversial, yes.
controversial, yeah, but stay with us, stay with us.
Yeah.
What uh, what is happening in all competitive games is that there are some people that love to cheat, love to use exploits, love to use bugs to their advantage, and seek the advantage over other players by, I don't know, third party software or anything like that. Unfortunately, Marauders are no difference. I mean, there's not so many cheaters like in other games, at least from what I know, because the player base is still not 100,000s of people. But weekly, I think I at least have one like cheater which I'm 100% sure, and probably one or two people which I'm not. They are like a suspicious kind of looking, shooting headshots, just running, all around and then moving with the speed of light. But that being said, it's an FPS game, and you will probably meet cheaters all across FPS games. Modus are no exception. There were some changes to the anti-cheat
Very true.
system, the software in the health patch, which came actually on 10th last month. But I kind of have a feeling that cheaters already caught up. It was just probably some change in the code and in the detection software. So it's probably
Hopefully,
never
yeah.
ending. It's a never ending story that cheaters versus developers kind of
Of
fighting.
course.
Now the question is for you, Mansa. What do you think about the cheaters? Share your view, and what do you think about the
Uh,
subject?
the reason why I think it's a very controversial one is because just like any other survivor looter shooter, people tend to call cheats really quick. So
That's
if
true.
someone is just slightly better than you are, they already call it out. On the other hand, um I don't think that there are too many cheaters.
Hmm.
Uh, I occasionally, like every week, like once a week, I think I run into a guy who is suspiciously zooming with the rust bucket,
Yeah, yeah.
but but I don't really meet people who I definitely think they're cheating. I think I met like two of them
Hmm.
in 550 hours,
Hmm.
which is well, not a lot. And
Hmm.
then base this on the fact that a lot of people saying that the game is infested with cheaters.
Hmm.
No, I just have a different experience. Maybe it's because I'm playing on NA. I mean, I'm playing on EU, right?
Hmm.
So maybe on NA and the Asia servers, it's worse. I can't say.
I don't
But the
know.
EU is pretty healthy.
I don't know. Uh, there there is always saying like if you want to find cheaters, you have to go to the different country. But
Yeah.
truth to be told, there are people that want to cheat in every single country. It's not like a being racist. For example, I'm from Czech Republic, and I know that some Czech people are not really straightforward, and
Oh yeah.
so it's just a personal trait. If you want to cheat somewhere, you will probably go and find a way how to do it. But
Yeah. One way or another, cheaters will cheat. Yeah.
mm, if you are a cheater, you will cheat. It's just what it is. But so far, uh, it seems to me at least that developers of Marauders are on fight with the cheaters. There is a mod mail. Can
Exactly.
you tell us something about the mod mail? How that works?
Yeah, but before that, as you brought up the subject, the developers, I do would like to commend them though.
Sure, go ahead.
So while they're not sharing way too much information about patches,
Hmm.
they do make it exciting nonetheless,
Yeah, that's true.
and they are very actively like having a chat with everyone who can help. They're actively monitoring Discord for suggestions to better the game, to better the community.
Hmm.
So 10 out of 10. Would definitely join the Discord again.
I will pass. I will pass that
Yeah.
to Matt. Probably he seems to be the most accessible, and he
Exactly.
will be really happy for 10 out of 10.
uh,
Please go ahead.
yeah. About the mod mail, but I mean, they're very quick. They're relative, like they're polite.
Hmm.
You can easily talk with them, pretty much from any country, I believe. And they're very helpful as well. So anytime if you encounter a cheater or a bug
Or
that's
team
that's not
kill,
very
actually. Even
known,
even team
yeah.
kills are actually punishable now.
Unfortunate though, because team kill is only punishable if you team up on the Discord.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's a good
and
point. Yeah.
you also have to prove that it was intentional. So every time when you are playing, you need to have shadow play active, just in case, whatever happens.
In case you don't know what the shadow play is, you can record with any other software. It can be NVIDIA GeForce, it can be all other recording programs like OBS if you like to. Um, this is how, in essence, that the mod mail works, because it will connect you with the mods. You will provide them some proof of something that happened or you believe that happened, and usually the proof that they're asking for is some recording. So let's say that I was killed by a teammate in my Rust bucket. So I think it was not an accident, because I had the best armor in the game and he had a pistol, so he used the opportunity to rob me.
Yeah.
um, so in that case, I will contact the mod mail on official Discord of Marauders. I will send them the video and I'll ask them, hey, can you please investigate? I believe that this person actually killed me on purpose. He left the chat afterwards, and so on and so forth. Really give them some reason. And the same is with the cheaters. Um, you can report them in game, but if I remember the last announcement that the developers made, they actually ask people, yeah, if you encounter the cheater, make sure that you actually record it. And if you want to use a mod mail, you can send the recording to the mod mail, and then we will have a look at it. We will do it quicker than if you report them in game, because that takes some time.
Very true. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we looked very extensively on our overview how the game is right now, with all the bugs, cheaters, but also very exciting things, very fun time that we had a playing. Is there anything else you would like to
Very
add
true.
on today's podcast?
Subscribe to Lord.
No, 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 no. that is that is that is not allowed advertising.
The button is under the stream. Follow and subscribe.
By the way, you cannot subscribe to me, but you can follow me. But subscribe to Manse. He'll be really happy. No, jokes
Yeah.
away. This stream will go to YouTube, so also more people can actually watch it. I want to thank you, Mansa. You were immensely helpful. Uh, you your
Well,
your in-depth knowledge of all PvP aspects of this game never stopped to amaze me. So I'm looking forward to talk to you again
no,
next
thank you,
week
thank you.
on Sunday. And with that being said, thank you very much and goodbye.
Yeah, hold up.
Oh,
Before we're done,
okay.
just since it goes for YouTube, like and subscribe.
No.